Thank you for joining us, Tina and Isadora. Let's start with a hurricane. That's been the thing in the news. The rain has subsided at this point. People are starting to recover. People are looking for ways to help. Why is it that here in Brevard County, we might not heed the same kinds of warnings about hurricanes that we just heard on TV not weeks ago? Isadora?
I think what I often hear is that the biggest issue with hurricane preparedness is complacency. The last hurricane was so long ago, and we almost got hit a couple of times, and I think people just think this one is not going to hit us. The other issue, I think, is that you have people like me who didn't experience a hurricane. So we move here from other states, other countries, so we don't really know how destructive it can be. You can watch it on TV, but it's not the same as experiencing it. So I think people always say, and you know what, I've done that before. When we got hit by Matthew, I was, buying water the day before, and I think I could have done a better job.
Could have bought some ravioli and things like that, some canned goods to go in your thing that you don't need to heat up and cook probably. At least have some more flashlight batteries, check your insurance policy, that kind of thing.
Yeah, and you see in Texas that they marked up the price of water to up to $40. Yes, the merchant, I forgot who it was, said that it was a mistake, but yeah, you can run into those issues, or you cannot find anything on the shelves in the grocery store.
Tina, you've been on the Space Coast for some time, at least through several hurricanes back in 2004, 2005, a couple of near misses in between. You've seen how people react here to communication. The last time we had a Hurricane Matthew, I believe, that call came down to evacuate the barrier island, and some 50-60% of people, maybe even more, decided to stay home. What gives here?
I know. I think you're right. I think people get complacent. They get storm after storm that looks like it's going to be potentially devastating, and then it skirts us. It goes away, and we don't get it so bad. And so we think next time, we'll be fine. We'll just hunker down. We'll be good. But anyone that was here for those storms 13 years ago would know that it's a very, very serious issue. And I just wonder if maybe there should be some kind of community education campaign or something that would show some of that devastation that happened back then, and would show some of those local landmarks that people would recognize, and maybe it would hit home a little more for them.
Yeah, it's tough because that storm in Houston is so focused on flooding.
Right.
We haven't had that kind of flooding, even though that is the main problem that you have is with water, and on the beach side you have that wind-driven water that comes up by way of storm surge. We had mainly fences down, trees down, roofs blown off, that kind of thing. I don't think anybody quite knows what to make of warnings about storm surge just because we haven't experienced them here. Send stuff, money. Have either of you heard about relief efforts? What kind of reaction are you seeing here on the Space Coast from people who want to help? Isadora?
I know that I think a lot of people are volunteering this. I think you can probably talk about it more, how the school is allowing employees who want to go over and help. I haven't heard anything. I just moved here 3 weeks ago.
Welcome to the Space
So,
Coast. Yeah, that's not fair. I've kind of put you on this, put you on the spot there. Yeah, Tina. I mean, people are pretty generous here. Have you not seen that?
Yes, absolutely. I think the community comes together when they need to, and as long as the news media maybe are helping us come up with ways to funnel that money in one direction versus not knowing where to put it, I think that would be the greatest help.
The thing that I think I remembered from 2004 and 2005 when people were asking people in the Space Coast, what do you need? How can we help you? And now they're saying it the same way in Houston is send money, don't send things. Here in the school district, there are plenty of people who with big hearts who they're thinking about kids, and they want to send backpacks full of school supplies, for example, clothing, teddy bears, anything like that, but it might not get there because all of the logistics to deliver goods is consumed by just getting food and building supplies and medicine to the people who really need it following a storm. How do you know who to give money to? Are you checking things out at Florida Today, who are legit charities?
And actually, I want to give a shout out to the media. I think we need that nowadays. But I think if it weren't for the coverage, the extensive coverage this hurricane has received, I think a lot of people would not have shown their support for folks over in Texas. And Florida Today has actually sent 2 of our reporters over there to help with the coverage under the USA Today network. So I know the press nowadays gets a bad reputation, but I think the job that so many reporters have done, and they're really risking their own lives doing so. So I think it's important to recognize what they're doing as well.
Yeah, it's not exactly comfortable or safe for those first responders to be wading around in murky water, not knowing exactly what's underneath, especially at night. And if reporters are going out with them, they're doing the exact same risk just to be the source of information about what's going on and to make sure that those recovery efforts
Yes.
get underway. Good point. Tina, what have you seen?
I've seen on the major news channels coming out of Orlando, they're trying to have kind of a one-stop place on their websites for where you can make donations. And so I've got to believe, as a citizen, that they're doing their work to vet those organizations and make sure that they're legitimate. And so if it were me, I would put my money there. I would feel a little safer about that.